What's up, guys? It has been a really long time. It has been, I know, over a year since I have came personally to talk to you guys on this channel, but I'm so happy to be back, and I just want to kind of talk about something random, to just talk about what has been happening since I've been gone, what has pulled me away, what have I been doing throughout this journey. Man, I tell you, so much has happened. I know initially I was posting about my health journey on here the last time that I was posting. So yeah, I just want to talk about what has been happening and where I'm at and things like that. I remember that I had posted on this channel, the last time I posted on this channel was, I believe, around the beginning of last year. It may have been sometime in January or February of 2023. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my history, but it has been a while, and I know I left you guys, and I'm so sorry, life just happened, but it's okay, it's okay. I feel like now I am at the point where I'm back in the stages where I'm just living in my true purpose, and well, getting towards living in my true purpose. I'm in the transitioning phase, and I've been in this transitioning phase for a good while. And the more and more I'm transitioning, the happier I am becoming. And man, I have been through so much, you guys. So last year, first of all, let me say this, because I know some of you guys did subscribe to me to watch some of my videos dealing with health and my health journey, fitness, and all that. And I would like to say that that part of my journey is also so much different. I look at things so much differently now. I'm at the point where I'm just in a more sustainable journey that is more of a lifestyle for me. And I'm not perfect, but I would like to talk about that in another video, not specifically in this video, because this is just more so like a random type of thing that I just wanted to talk about. Maybe it'll help one of you guys. Maybe you're going through the same thing that I was and am still kind of going through. So I had eventually stopped posting on this channel after talking about my health and fitness journey and different things like that, talking to you guys about some things that I was doing. And I really just had to take a break from that because, for one, those things were starting to be not so sustainable for me, and I had to take a step back and figure out what was going to be best for me. And so I just kind of gave that up. I was like, you know, this is just too much for me, and I want to be realistic with myself. I want to be realistic with you guys as well. So that's kind of why I took a step back on that. And then I also went on to create another channel. And I had started posting on there, I think around February. No, it wasn't around February. It was like, I want to say around April of 2023, because I had only posted consistently on there for like 2 months. And it was like 2 or 3 months. It was something like that, you guys. It was around that range. I may be a month off or so. But I did start around that time frame, that date range. And then I got a new job. It was a job that was in the tech industry, and I've worked at other tech companies before, but the other tech companies that I did work for were larger companies. This was the first small kind of hometown Philly type of tech company that I had ever worked for. And me and this other girl, we were the only two Black girls that worked there. So yeah, it was like very like, it was the most different. It was very different from what I was used to, and very small company. And I won't say that everything was bad about it, but it just got to a point where that was kind of just consuming my brain so much, to the point where after working there for about a month or two, I just stopped posting on my other YouTube channel altogether as well. And that job was just, oh my goodness, like I dealt with a lot at that job, just mentally. It was mentally exhausting. I didn't get as much support as I should have, and it was just a big mess, you guys. And I had been there for like about 9 months. It was, I was close to a year, but I couldn't take it anymore. I started to, at first I didn't really see how things were, but then the longer and longer I stayed, I started to see that things were getting pretty toxic there, and some things that I wasn't supposed to figure out, I ended up finding out. It's so crazy. You know what? One thing about me that I can say is, a lot of times I'll figure out stuff without even trying to figure it out. And a lot of times I'll be like, okay, this is God just talking to me. But yeah, I don't know. That has happened to me a lot, like my whole life. Like I don't even be trying to, some stuff I don't even be wanting to know, or I don't even try to figure out, but it's funny how life works that way. But I found out different things that I wasn't supposed to find out. Things would slip out of people's mouths, and I just kept feeling in my heart like it just wasn't for me. Like, you guys, I started getting like, they call it, I found out it's the actual name for it, work anxiety. I was getting work anxiety on the weekends, and what that is basically like, on the weekends, you are thinking about work so much to the point where you're stressing yourself out on the weekends, because you keep thinking about your job, thinking about how much you hate it, how much you don't want to go on Monday, and you just keep letting it stress you out, and it makes you get depressed. Like I was depressed on the weekends and just dreading going back to work on Monday, even though I was fully remote. It was just, yeah, I hated it. And when I tell you, there were some other jobs that I've had that I didn't care for, but this was the worst of the worst. Like this, I hated this job. It got to that point because it was just too much mentally. It was too much work being put on me, between me and my coworker, and we weren't really getting rewarded for it. I felt like I wasn't, but I just had to get out of that toxic situation. So around March of this year, I finally let that situation go. And I'm just going to say that I'm so much happier with where I'm at now. Like, I had to break free from that place. And I'm so glad I did. I took a leap of faith because I was willing to go back to something that was like lower level than that job. So that just goes to show you how stressed out I was. Like, I said, no, I have a toddler that needs as much time and attention as he can get right now. Like, he's at the stage where he's in a transition stage himself. So I need to give more time and attention to my son and focus on him. I can't do that if I'm just overly stressed out and then having work anxiety every weekend from this job. Like I couldn't do it anymore. So I was so glad that I stepped out on faith, because bigger things came to me, bigger opportunities came to me. I started investing into some different things to help me get into a better position in the future and things like that. So I'm in a much better place mentally. So yeah, that's what happened. Honestly, it was the job. It was the job. You know, I had the opportunity where I could have done some big things with them, but I was like, no, I've got to get away from this place. You guys, I started gaining weight back. I wasn't working out as much as I should. A lot of things changed, and I didn't drop all my habits now, but all my good habits, but there were some that were dropped, and I was looking at my FitnessPal. I still use my FitnessPal to this day to track my measurements, my weight, different things like that. And when I looked on my FitnessPal, I kid you not, so before I started that job, the tech job that I quit months ago, I had lost around 40 to 45 pounds. And then when I started that job, the weight started piling back on. It was just stressful. I think I had put back on like 15, 20 pounds. And so luckily I didn't gain all the weight back, but I gained half back. But you know, I'm in such a better place where, like I said, I'm still in my transitioning phase, but I'm so much happier now that I'm out of that toxic situation. So I will say this to tell anybody, if you're going through that right now, please, please just step out on faith. It doesn't matter what anyone else says, even if you can't, if you feel like, as far as like work, if you are in a position where you feel like you can't necessarily leave that toxic situation right now, then put yourself in a position to find some ways to put yourself into a position where you can leave that situation. Are you willing to downgrade, to do something that's kind of a downgrade from what that was temporarily until you can figure something else out? Or are you willing to find something else or do something different that you never thought you would ever do? Like, just do what you need to do to step out on faith, but at the same time, like, do it wisely, you know, especially if you have a lot of responsibilities. Like I have my son, and so when I stepped out on faith, I still had something else to fall back on, but I put myself in a position to have something else to fall back on. So I have to think a little bit more responsibly now that I'm a mother. So that is what caused me. That is a big cause of why I stopped posting on YouTube altogether. And I just had to take a big break from social media. And I cannot believe I allowed that freaking job to just stop me, like stop me from doing what I was enjoying. It took me away from my passion. I love to talk to you guys. I love to inspire. I love to motivate. I love to be motivated. So at the end of the day, I say this to say, do not let any job, or anything like that. Do not let that stop you from what you enjoy doing. Do not let that stop you from your dreams. And if you feel like it is stopping you from doing that, if you feel like it's overtaking everything to where you're putting everything else behind and you're neglecting everything else, you have to please find some type of way to let it go, or start putting yourself in a transitioning phase. Do one little thing at a time. I know for some people it's hard, but just do what you can to transition yourself out of that situation. And when I tell you, in March of this year, when I left that company, I no longer was stressed out while working anymore. I mean, of course, I have busy days now with what I currently do, where I'm at, with where I am at now, but I'm not overly stressed anymore. I no longer have work anxiety. So like before, I would just be depressed all weekend and just really just dreading Monday. Like I didn't even want to think about Monday. And Sundays were the worst because that was the day before Monday. But right now it's 10 p.m. on a Sunday. I have to work tomorrow morning and I don't have work anxiety. I'm not over here stressing about work, like thinking about, oh, I don't feel like working tomorrow. I'm actually fine, like I'm cool, and this is normal. This is what norm should feel like. I should have been feeling that way at my other job, but I didn't. And that just goes to show you how toxic of an environment that I was in, and that toxicity of an environment held me back. That place held me back so much. I stopped doing everything that I was doing consistently. And, but I'm just so happy that I got myself out of that situation. And then, so also now I am in a place where, when it comes to doing different things, I am at the point where I don't want to have to sit and wait on anybody else, wait on anybody else's time. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. And that's not selfish. I enjoy doing things with people and all, but like something just keeps telling me, like, do things on your terms. Go ahead and do it. Like, yeah, it may be scary, but just go ahead and do it, girl. Like, there's so many people that I see that are following their dreams. They're taking risks. They're moving out of the country and just doing so many different things outside of the norm. And I want to be one of those type of people. Like, I want to do different things outside of the norm. You know, retiring early. Like, well, I never want to like just fully retire, like where I'm not just ever doing nothing, but I want to retire early, as in retiring from the corporate world and transitioning back to my entrepreneurial world, which is I've lived the best of both worlds. I've worked in corporate America, and I have done a lot of self-employed stuff, and self-employed stuff is like, so much more freedom, but everything has had its pros and cons, and I appreciate both sides, that I've had to experience both sides. But excuse me, I just want to do so much outside of the norm, and I'm telling you right now, and something has been telling me this, like, don't sit and wait for anybody. Live on your terms. Do what you need to do. Take that risk. If you want to move to Mexico, move to Mexico. If you want to travel the world, do it. Like, we only have one life. Also, you know, with me, I want to, of course, I want to live my life, do things on my terms, not wait on anybody. If they don't want to do it, if they don't want to do certain things with me, I'm not waiting. I'll just do it myself. You know, I'm at that point where it's like, okay, I don't know. That's no offense to anybody, but that's just what I've been on. Like, I'm ready to get it. Like, that's the attitude I've been having. And I know I'm speaking in general terms, but I feel like that's what a lot of us do. Like, if, let's just say, for example, if you want to invest in property, okay, and then you have someone else that you want to, let's say you have a group of 2 other friends that you want to have to invest in the property with you, and y'all keep talking about it, going on a year, going on 5 years, going on 10 years, 20 years, and it's like, okay, I'm ready to invest in this property. It's been 15, 20 years. What are we doing here? We're going to keep talking about it? Or are we going to have some discipline and put some money to the side and go ahead and invest like we're supposed to? So you have one friend that's been saving the money to invest in the property. Then you have this one other friend who has been living their best life, traveling all the time, and spending everything that comes in. Then you have this other friend that's like, may have it, but they just talking. So am I gonna sit up here and keep waiting on my 2 friends to help me invest in this property, but nothing is happening? No, I'm going to either find somebody that's like-minded, or I'm going to do it myself if I feel like if I have enough funds, and then just, I'm not saying I can't do everything myself, but I'm going to get it some kind of way. Like, you cannot sit here and keep waiting on people and their words, because I notice these days people do so much talking, and maybe that's just one of my unpopular opinions. People do a lot of talking these days. And that's just, you know, the really brutal, honest truth. People do a lot of talking. So that is another part of my transitioning phase. Like, I ain't waiting on nobody. If you don't want to do this, then so be it. I'm moving forward. So, you know, that's kind of what I have been on as well. I'm thinking, I'm in the present, but then I'm thinking about the future. What are some different things that I can do now to prepare me to have a future to where I'm not overly stressed out, to where I'm not sitting up here slaving to someone else and different things like that. So I'm just on a journey of just thinking ahead and doing things now that's going to help prepare me to have a better future. And also, another part of my transitioning phase is to have fun, just be myself, take everything day by day, one step at a time, work towards being my best self while also being realistic. And having fun, but also working, so that I can be able to achieve some of my goals, and just inspiring and motivating people and being motivated, and really just being, ultimately the biggest goal is to impact a lot of people and to be a big part of some of the change that I want to see in my community specifically. And so, yeah, that is what has been going on with me. So in other words, in a sentence, I can explain that my previous job took the life out of me, and I refuse to ever, I refuse to ever have that happen to me again. Never, ever will I take that again. So if you are in a toxic situation, I really hope that this inspires you to get out of that situation, whether it's a job or whether it's something else. What's up, guys? So today I'm just going to give it to you real, raw, truthfully. The last clip that you saw was previously recorded in April. I believe it was April of 2023. It's now January 2024. Matter of fact, it's my birthday, January 16th. I just want to talk about a little bit about, it's like a to be continued, because obviously in that video, I said I was going to be living my best life. I was going to be doing this, that, and the other, but life really started to life. Like, life was really life, and literally like a month and a half-ish after that. Something like that, y'all. That estimated time frame, but I ended up losing my brother tragically, and this has been one of the worst, if not the worst. I think this is literally like, this is the worst thing I've ever had to witness in my life. Like, I took a big loss in one of the closest people to me. It's hard and it hurts, y'all. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. And I didn't live my best life. I didn't. Everything went downhill from there. I remember in the last clip that I just spoke in, I discussed how I had gained like about 15, 20 pounds from being at that toxic job and emotionally eating, dealing with work anxiety and things like that. And now obviously I have a better job where I don't deal with that anymore. However, I lost my brother so tragically, and I just never thought me and my family would have to go through something like this. It was very unexpected. It was just shocking. It hurt me so bad that it hurt me really bad that somebody took my brother's life away. And so that's what I've been dealing with. It's still hard to process, like, just to not hear from him today. Like, I'm so used to hearing from my brother on my birthday, and it's like I can't get that anymore. So I didn't want to do this. I really didn't want to do this. I'm sorry, y'all, but you know, I think, you know, after I lost him, I start emotionally, like, just handling it the wrong way, like, just not caring what I ate. At this point, I've gained all my weight back. Like, I gained back all the weight that I lost. You know, I had initially lost like 40, 45 pounds. Gained every single pound back. Like, just emotionally, just handling it in the wrong way. And I'm going to get help for that. Like, I've got to get counseling, obviously. And, you know, that's just something that I deal with. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks, what any of you think. Like, everybody goes through something. And so, obviously, I handled it the wrong way. I guess I emotionally ate to cope with such a tragic loss. But I know that my brother would want me to move forward and do some bigger things this year and live my best life. And that's what he would do. Like, my brother didn't care about what people thought about him. He was always going to do what he wanted to do. And so, you know, that's what happened. Life happened. Life was life in, but I've got to get back to being my better self, like working towards being the best version of myself. Like, I'm still just dealing with that. And like I said, January 2024, last month, I start just realizing, like, okay, Damar, you're doing too much. Like, you gotta stop coping with food, you know. So I start, like, just practicing some healthy habits, like, towards the end of December, like, just trying to implement healthier habits again, like, slowly. So my focus for this year is, of course, like, still, I want to live my best life. He would want me to move forward. I want to do some different things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time that I've always held myself back from. And I'm no longer going to do that, especially after this, because now I see life is too short and I just want to help people, of course. I want to be the best version of myself, and I want to inspire other people to become their best version. And when I say your best version, I don't mean like, oh, I'm Miss Perfect, you know, like everything is always going to be 100% perfect. No, but it's just about acknowledging that, like, just being aware, like not letting yourself go and things like that. Like, just trying to do the best you can every single day. That's what I mean by living your best life. Like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. Like, this is a perfect example. I never thought that I would lose my brother tragically. I never thought that I would lose my brother so young. He was only 25 years old. I turned 31 years old today. So, you know, he didn't get a chance. He didn't get a chance to fully live his life because somebody took that away from him. So, but that's my goal this year, y'all. For 2024, I just want to work to become just a better version of myself. Like, get healthier again. That doesn't mean, like, I'm just going to be real with y'all. That doesn't mean that I'm never going to eat any cake or I'm never going to do that. But I'm just working to get things under control and just taking small steps to get back to a better version like I was previously, and then moving forward and finding some ways to get help to where if something happens like this again, like, it's life, y'all. you know, we're all not going to be here forever. Like, all of us have that day where it's going to come where we're not going to be here anymore. All of us are going to pass away, and that's just reality. So I just want to work to be a better version of myself, like health wise, like my hair health decline, and you will see in another video where I kind of talk about that. So I just want to do better with my health wise, my hair wise. I've already started the small steps with my health, and kind of sort of with my hair. So I'm slowly getting there, and I'll talk more about those different things in other videos that you'll see. As far as my health, I haven't been doing, still struggling with the water intake. So, I've got to work on my water intake. I've been, doing something with my family to where, some of my family members, to where we try to get a little bit of, physical activity in every day. Like, sometimes I'll do 5-minute workouts in a day, like a 5-minute workout a day. I haven't been consistent with working out every day, but we're just acknowledging that. Like, we'll say, like, if we worked out for 5 minutes a day, or however long we worked out, we'll say, hey, we'll post in a group text, I worked out 5 minutes today. I ate part of a raw meal, like part raw, part cooked, or a fully raw meal today. Like, we'll post things like that. So yeah, just know that I'm going to be sharing my journey of working towards a healthier hair journey, and just being healthier myself overall. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was a very, very long video, but it was much needed. I wanted to address some different things. Like, you all know, in previous videos within the last few years, if you remember me, or if you watched me in the past, whatever, I would talk about my health journey a lot, and then I also would post hair videos. So I'm excited to get back to that, like just talking about hair, hair health, what I like to do with my hair, my health, all of that. So I am not going to hold you guys any longer. I'm sorry. I did not intend for this video to be so emotional, but hey, I just had to give it to y'all real and raw. So wow, I didn't think I was going to do all that, but I'm not going to hold you any longer. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful 2024. Whatever happens this year, whether it's good or bad, just continue to take things day by day. Take it day by day, and that's all that I can tell you. But I hope you all have a wonderful 2024 and beyond, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. You watch this all the way to the end, you are a real one, because I know I did some rambling and all of that, but I hope this helps somebody, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.